Welcome to the Kairos Wisdom Keepers podcast, where ancient wisdom meets the modern healer. In our podcast, we share how ancestral soul wisdom and cyclical living support today's healers in activating greater wealth, health, intuition, and spiritual connection.
Hello, and welcome to our 7th episode of the Kairos Wisdom Keepers, Harnessing the Lion's Gate Portal. I'm Janet Raftis.
And I'm Lukas. And today we're going to talk about what the Lion's Gate Portal is and how to work with it to amplify your manifestations and deeper spiritual connection.
Ooh, the Lion's Gate is awesome.
It is.
It is some of the most delicious energy of the year. It is this super yummy cosmic portal that heightens the field of abundance and expansion. And this gateway opens up at the end of each July and reaches its peak of power and life-changing transmissions on 8/8. And this year happens to be an 8/8/8 portal.
It is. August 8th, 2024. 8/8, and it all ends up. 2024 is an 8 year. This is a potent time. Abundance is in the house.
In the house. So if you don't know, 8 is a number of abundance. It's the infinity symbol flipped on its side. And it really has that resonance of infinite potential. And so here, right smack dab in the middle of this portal, is this day when these energies, this field of energy that's being transmitted, reaches its height. And this is a great time to play in the energy of abundance.
Yeah. So we have been talking on the podcast here about the different ways that abundance and wealth cycles play out through the seasons of the year. And we've been talking in past episodes about the summer solstice and this heightened time of year of light. And this is all part of the gearing up here in the Northern Hemisphere of coming into harvest energy. And part of coming into harvest energy is coming into deeper spiritual connection and feeling that gateway of where the spiritual realms meet the physical realms. And that's part of what's happening here during the Lion's Gate.
Yeah. And even if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, you are still going to have an experience of that. And you're still going to be impacted by the light codes that are coming in during this time. And this really is, this is a scientific thing. In addition to being an energetic thing, there is a massive influx of energy flowing here. And it's coming from Sirius, a star that represents fertility and abundance. This Sirius is a potent source of spiritual light on our planet, and it's 26 times the amount of light that the sun puts out, by the way. We don't receive it as such, but during this portal, these light codes from Sirius, because of its placement in connection to the sun, because of the placement and the way it is showing up in the sky, it's like we get beamed with an amplification of these Sirian light codes. And those light codes, which are connected to abundance, directly influence both your physical and light bodies. So this is a real thing. These light codes from Sirius are coming into you, and they're activating things within you.
Yeah. And this Lion's Gate has been celebrated for millennia. There's going back to ancient Egypt, where the star Sirius was worshipped as the agricultural goddess. Like this time of year is revered around the world. So we're bringing these, it's again, this is all the remembrance of our connection to where we are placed in the galaxy, in the star system, our remembrance of how we receive energy from stars, from light. It's like we've been disconnected from all of that. And so part of this is just coming back into natural sync with how our planet cycles and interacts with the universe, with the planets, the solar system that surrounds us.
Yeah, this is a part of, it's a cyclical experience. And, even back in Egypt, it was associated with abundance because it was harvest time, because it was the time of the Egyptian New Year. And so not only do we have this cosmic experience that's happening where we're being beamed with these light codes that are awakening DNA within us, that are activating abundance codes within us, but in addition to that, for hundreds and hundreds of years, people have been gathering during this portal, celebrating the portal, and really further activating and amplifying the potency of it. So when people come together to do energy work, to celebrate, to be festive, to have like the harvest festivals, to feast together, then more and more energy of that very essence is being put into the field. And so over time, these fields become even more highly activated with whatever energy that it's going into. And with the Lion's Gate specifically, it is activated with prosperity codes, with abundance codes, with the Leonine codes that are available right now.
Yeah. So let's talk a bit more about those Leonine codes and that beautiful lion energy. So we're in this time of year, and we talked about this in our previous episode in working with this summer lion energy. Is, lions represent more than anything heart. Right? A lion's heart. They are these big, playful, royal creatures who are not only playful, but they're also fierce and powerful AF, right?
100%.
There is no messing with the lion, and they are creatures who, they have their prides, they have their community, they have this deep royal energy that is such an example of true power, of healthy power, of being at the top of an ecosystem, but not being in a manipulative power over power under struggle. Like there's just so much that lions represent that we can work with in this Lion's Gate energy.
Yeah. And one thing that really stood out in what you were just saying to me is that we actually do call this a lion's pride. Like their community is called a pride, right? That says so much, right? A lot of the energy of the cycle that we're in right now, and certainly the amplified field of Lionsgate, is about confidence, visibility, sovereignty, right? All of those Leonine codes that are about being really strong in yourself, really trusting yourself, trusting who you are, trusting how you show up in the world. And in that trust of self, allowing you to assert yourself in a very healthful way, right? And so when we are here talking about the lion's pride, like they're called a pride for a reason. How does a lion carry itself? How does each lion, right? Because in the lion's pride, the lions all feel this way. There's not, a lion's pride except for Sally. You know Sally the lion, right?
Sally the lion who just does not feel her self-worth or value. And how she's contributing to the whole. Right. She's over there just licking her paw on her lion drama triangle.
I mean, that's it. Like all the lions know who they are. And I think that's a really powerful message for us, and something we can really tap into during this time, is that we are all worthy. We're innately worthy. We're born worthy. We are divine. We are goddess. We are God, right? And the lion doesn't question that. The lion shows up in its lion's pride, in its sovereignty, and in its playfulness. And those two things are not mutually exclusive. We, by being sovereign, by being proud, do not need to give up our inner child, our playfulness, our friskiness, our fun, right? Like, we can have all of that. And as humans, we tend to forget that.
Yeah, we do. So that's why working with this Lionsgate portal, it's not about, oh my God, I need to use this time to focus all of my energy onto the manifestational powers that I have, and I'm going to link my third eye up to Sirius, the central sun, and I'm going to put all my energy, and I'm going to be tight-fisted, and my sphincter is going to be completely shrunken and engaged. And like, that's not the energy. Tight sphincter is not how to enter the Lion's Gate.
Yeah.
Like, no. Manifestation is fun. This is childlike energy, right? This is childlike wonder. This is playfulness. This is excitement. This is deep gratitude and reverence for the amazing connection that we have to the non-physical realms, to the spiritual realms. It's deep reverence for the light that's pouring in that gives us life itself. It's deep reverence and playfulness, being outside, being in nature, taking this light in. Spend time outdoors during the Lion's Gate and run and jump and get primal, growl, play. Lately I've been like, I need the little people in my life. I need more little people. I had some little people come to my house the other day, and they're like, I mean, little ones, like 3 and 8-year-olds, and that childlike wonder where they're just like jumping in the creeks and everything is magic and playful. Like, that's like, bring on the childlike, bring in the wisdom of the little people. Lion's Gate. The childlike wonder and like connecting into your own little person, your own little one, the part of you that didn't feel like she got to play, that didn't feel like she, like, connect in with the parts of you that crave more play, that crave more wonder, that crave more joy. Like, bring it. That's where the real juice is. It's in playfulness, and it's in gratitude and appreciation for every single thing you've got. What if you spent this whole Lionsgate portal being so deeply appreciative for everything, every dollar that was ever given to you, every experience that you ever had, every joyful thing that has come to you? What if you spent your time focusing on appreciating all that you've received, rather than, I don't have this, I don't have that, and I want this, and I'm not there yet, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, right? It's such a different energy than this, like, huge-hearted appreciation for all that you've lived, this huge-hearted appreciation for who you are, for what you've created, for who you've interacted with, for all of the beautiful community, relational experiences that you've had, for the love that you've had, like, feeling just appreciation for the amount of love that you've had in your life, things that you've taken for granted, things that you've been resentful of. Like, this is the time to play in appreciation. If you appreciate through the Lion's Gate, you're going to rock the world, and the world is going to be rocked by you lighting up like a lighthouse of appreciative love, because that is an act of giving, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a way to show up in service, actually. And I really appreciate that you brought in appreciation.
Why, thank you. I appreciate that you appreciated it. I appreciate you so much. I really do.
You so much.
I'm so deeply grateful for you. Oh my God. What would I do without you?
Good question.
Very good question. We're not going to go there.
No. Oh, goodness. So, we are always manifesting. Like, this is what's so important to remember, right? Because we forget, because we get caught up in life. We get caught up in the things and the problems and the issues and the things that aren't going our way. And also, like, that's all a choice. And yes, there is trauma. And yes, there's wounding. And yes, there are circumstances that have created scarcity. All of that is true. And also, we get to choose moment to moment how we create our lives. Every step of our lives that we take is a creation and a manifestation. And so really the question is, like, how do you want to consciously co-create your life? And the Lion's Gate gives us an opportunity to really drop into those questions and to drop into, how am I living my life? Is this the way that I want to show up in the world? Does this feel good? Or am I spending a lot of my time in scarcity, in constriction, in a lack of gratitude? This energy gives you an opportunity. This portal gives you an opportunity to really get clear and to make some changes, to commit to showing up differently for yourself in a way that is very consciously aware of what your vision is for your life, how you want to show up for yourself and others, and then to set into motion from that space how you are going to bring it in. And the pathway, as Ina said, is through gratitude and appreciation and taking the aligned action, choice by choice, step by step. How am I showing up in this moment? How can I open my heart even more? How can I really access that lion-hearted pride energy with its playfulness in each moment? And as I do that, right, your whole world will start to shift, because you will continue to attract. You attract from whatever point you're at, from whatever choice you make in each moment. That is a magnet to the next experience, to the next thing. So that's why when we wake up in the morning and we feel off and we're like, oh, I'm having such a crappy day, and then things just continue to go wrong throughout the day until you could get to some sort of reset. Well, that is the trajectory of our entire life. And this portal gives you the opportunity to be like, wait, what am I grateful for? What am I creating in my day-to-day life, my moment-to-moment life? And how can I really shift that so that I'm consciously creating the life of my dreams, of my desire?
Yeah. I love all of that so much. And the beautiful thing about being in that appreciative state is that appreciation leads to generosity, because when you're in a state of appreciation, you're in a state of overflow. Your heart is overflowing. When you're deep in bowing down to the gratitude of life itself, for me, it's like the tears just flood out of my eyeballs because of so much joy and happiness, because like I can't contain the amount of love and joy. And so that is a state of abundance, of overflow, that opens up into that state of generosity, of there's just so much to give. I think about this time of year. I mean, how many of you have neighbors or yourselves that are growing zucchini or tomatoes? Like, I have neighbors bringing over bags of zucchinis and tomatoes because it's like, there's just an overflow of generosity. Like, and there's so much zucchini right now. There's so many tomatoes right now. And it's so easy to be generous with this amazing thing that you've poured your heart into, gardening, tending these beautiful plants that you've poured all your love and appreciation into, and then they give back. Like, they give back so much, and then you're just sharing, right? Like, this is the time of zucchini generosity. We'll just claim that. This is like
I just left a house the other day with zucchini, potatoes, and basil. I can attest, it is real.
It is very real. We are in zucchini season. This is zucchini recipe season. I'm getting all the zucchini recipes sent to me right now. But in all of that, how can you enter the Lion's Gate from a place of appreciation and generosity for life itself? Because if you want shifts in your life, if you want shifts for humanity right now, like that's the bigger thing, right? Endgame is like, is healing for all of humanity. We need to go through our own healing, our own process of learning how powerful we are as creators and being able to understand how we create our individual lives. But this really comes down to the bigger mission that we're here for, which is changing the collective trajectory of humanity. And that really matters right now. So, while the Lion's Gate is a powerful, potent time to really work with your individual manifestations, we highly encourage you to get in a state of generosity with what you're wanting to connect to in the spiritual realms, with what you're wanting to manifest as you're working through this Lion's Gate energy. It's so much bigger than us. And when we're in that perspective of wanting so much more peace, love, abundance, harmony, ease for the whole, for all of our brothers and sisters all around the world. This is how we shift. This is how we shift a collective, is by anchoring that energy within ourselves, anchoring the gratitude, the appreciation, the generosity, the connection to our communities. When we're becoming an anchor of that, we radiate that out and we create more community. We create more giving. We create more currency amongst us, right? So this is the time to play with this energy. Be playful, be generous, be appreciative, and magic will happen in your life. And then magic starts happening in the lives of everyone around you. And that's the thing, is to celebrate the magic and celebrate what you're witnessing transforming in everyone around you, and appreciating the transformations and the up levels that are happening in the lives of everyone that you're interacting with.
Yeah. So true. And, I'm just thinking how abundance in its most simplistic form, right, means to have a lot of something, right? But we're not talking about it in its most simplified form here. We're talking about the type of abundance that lights you up, because you can have plenty of abundance of what you don't want. And that, again, comes back to the conscious creation component, right? But when abundance is based on appreciation, generosity, right? You feel freaking good. That's the thing. Like, that's where we want to be. And even if you don't have the dollars in the bank account, or the relationship you want at the moment, or whatever that thing is that we could very easily go into lack around, we get to come back to this space of, well, what is the good in my life right now? What is it that I can celebrate right now? Because we do always have things that we can celebrate. It's easy in human conditioning, when we've been programmed for scarcity, right? So in so many ways, money doesn't grow on trees, and rich people are greedy, and, you gotta, toil to get this little paycheck. Like, we have so many messages around scarcity. This is a reprogramming. And the Lion's Gate was such a powerful place to do this reprogramming, because you're actually being blessed by the cosmos, right? By that particular manifestation of the divine, and the way that the divine is interacting with you, because the universe is interacting with you in so many ways, and through the creation of Sirius and creation of the sun and the creation of the light codes that are coming here. It's just like this beautiful gift, this generous gift from Source itself, that supports us in understanding and being able to drop more deeply into, well, what does abundance mean for me? Mm-hmm. What do I have an abundance of in my life? Is it the abundance that I desire? How can I switch the dynamics of that energy? How can I really get conscious here? And as we do that, we get to play, because that's another thing about appreciation and gratitude and generosity, is that it can be playful. It can be fun, right? And even as Ina said, just showing up in that space of like, oh my God, I'm having so much fun. That's contagious too, right? Like the person that you meet up with, whether it's somebody you love or it's a total stranger, they are going to be impacted by your joyful, appreciative spirit. And we're not saying this to spiritually bypass, right? This is not about spiritually bypassing. If you notice that you have something coming up and you're like, oh my gosh, I have got this huge constriction in my heart listening to them talk about abundance. I am noticing that I am in so much fear right now. Well, that is something to pay attention to. That is something to actually go into and feel the feelings of it. Wow, I didn't realize that this experience that I had growing up, or this messaging that I got from my parents or my grandparents, I didn't realize how much it was impacting the way that I manifest by default, right?
Yeah.
And feel the emotions of it so that you can move to the other side of it and bring awareness to, okay, well, wow, I moved that energy. And not only that, but okay, maybe this is uncomfortable, but there is something in your life you can feel good about. There is something in your life you can be grateful about. Yeah. Finding that, allowing yourself to feel the gratitude is going to help to shift the energy as well.
Yeah. Gratitude is the practice and feeling all the feels and knowing that it's all okay. Knowing that it's all okay, right? Wherever you are, it's all okay. There's not somewhere to get to. It's right here.
Yeah, it's right here, right? And that's the thing, is that so much we think we have to grab for the abundance. We have to grab for the thing. We have to, like you said at the beginning of our conversation, like try to wrangle it. Mm-hmm. And really, this Lionsgate energy is a reminder that, yeah, you've got to take action. You've got to do the things, right? But you don't have to do it from a place of struggle. You don't have to do it from a place of trying to wrangle the energy, trying to, grab it by the horns and squeeze what you can out of it. It's really about like, how can I be the lion right now? How can I show up in the playfulness and in the gratitude and with an open heart? And how can I have fun here in this? And let's do that. Let's play in that and see what happens.
Yeah. That's powerful. I mean, that's the type of power that we're tapping into here in the Lionsgate is all of this energy of play and abundance and understanding our own relationship to abundance and power and how we're showing up in the world. And we want you to have fun during this portal and open up, get outside and connect in. So it is a heightened time of that spiritual connection to the physical body, of information pouring in. It's a heightened time of being able to channel, to connect to other beings, to receive this celestial information that's coming in. It's a heightened time of DNA activation. So, being out in the light, being out in appreciation, and really tapping in, connecting in with your third eye, with your psychic and intuitive abilities, because it is a very heightened time of receiving information that changes worlds, quite literally. Remember, we're at a time of new ancient technologies coming in, of the technologies that are our psychic and intuitive technologies becoming very, very advanced. Way more advanced than AI. So this is a time to play with those intuitive energies and with new information, new psychic intuitive technologies. Like play. This is the period here, this late July into July 26th to August 12th, that time, and then the peak of it on the 888 portal. We do have something going on that day, don't we?
We sure do. We have an amazing Lionsgate activation that we do every year, and it is so powerful. This is the activation this is the activation for abundance and prosperity. And it's also a place where you get to release some of that programming. So if you are noticing constriction within you, the Lionsgate activation that we do is a very powerful, channeled healing activation where Ina and I connect into the field of the Lionsgate. We amplify the energy of the field. We bring in our guides, your guides. It's a party of spiritual guides. The energy is so strong flowing in. We release old patterns and programming of lack and survival mode and financial fear. We integrate heightened frequencies of this gateway. We activate your royal codes, your Leonine royal codes. We amplify your sacred wealth codes. And we open your channeling gate so that you can have that greater experience of interaction and communication with source. And it's really focused on harnessing the energy of this field in a way that is very generative, supportive, putting you into that space of generosity and interaction, right, with the earth and everything in it, so that there's this beautiful currency of abundant energy flowing through you, right, and out into the world.
Yeah. And we do this activation every year on August 8th. So if you're listening to this before August 8th, you can join us live for the channeled activation. We'll have the link in the show notes. And if you're listening to this after August 8th, we highly, highly encourage you to still get the activation, get the recording, because we have people that get this recording throughout the whole year, that re-listen to it over and over, because we're harnessing the energy of this particular Lionsgate 888-2024 portal that holds specific codes, that holds specific energy, that is going to awaken stuff in you, that is going to light stuff up in you. And you can make this a part of your Lionsgate ritual.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do have some ritual ideas for you. So we will also link to a blog post on the Lionsgate portal where we share some different ideas to really co-create in this field. And then we have a couple other resources that would be super supportive for you as well. If you have not listened to episode 5 yet on cyclical wealth creation, there's some great ways to co-create with the energy of this particular cycle that we're in. And in our next episode, we are going to be talking about the first harvest as we enter into the Lammas season, which is the time to begin gathering the fruits of your labor. The summer is about the pregnancy. And then as we go into Lammas, we are starting to harvest what we have created.
Yeah. So if you want some deep support during this Lionsgate portal, we highly recommend checking out our Lionsgate activation and all of the resources that we'll be listing in the show notes.
Thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, happy Lionsgate portal.
Yes. So each week we share cyclical wisdom and practical tools and insights for working with the seasons on this podcast. So if you've enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends. Be generous, be abundant, share the love, share the Lionsgate, share the laughter, share your heart. And just remember that you can follow the Kairos Healers Academy on Instagram or any other social media channel. So please do like and subscribe, download the episodes.
Yes. And we really appreciate you being here and joining us on this episode of the Kairos Wisdom Keepers, where healers walk outside of time.